you please send that also
No,
with
I'm
this?
gonna charge it for that recording. I will, because it takes time to process the recording, and then I have to wait. And I was not there on the system for a long time. I'll do
No
that
problem.
today, okay?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Yes, carry on.
Okay, so now going for the rank order correlation. So what is rank order correlation? In case of Pearson R, we talked about various assumptions, right? I mean, important assumption is they need to be continuous variables, and they require to follow the normal distribution. And we also assume that the relationship between those two variables which we are actually correlating is linear. Okay, so linear is a very strong assumption as such, right? I mean, the when we take that particular graph, the graph has to be straight line like this. So rank order correlation is a bit more lenient when compared to the linear correlation. So it doesn't care about certain assumptions, especially on the relationship, right? We are talking about a linear relationship in case of Pearson's, but in case of rank order correlation, it just assumes that the relationship between these two variables is just monotonic. So, okay. So remember we talked, we, we got I mean, I already introduced this particular term before, but I'm just repeating it. Monotonic is nothing but it talks about the direction, right? When you put up a plot, plot is going up or going down. Okay, it is not really going up and down. It is only in one direction. Either it is going up or it is going down. But it doesn't mean that it is in a straight line. So it can be a curved line like this, but it is continuously going up. That is monotonic. So what rank order correlation assumes is it assumes the relationship between these two variables which we are comparing or correlating are monotonic in nature but need not to be linear. So remember we talked about a curvilinear aberration in case of Pearson's. So if it is a slight curve, Pearson is fine. But if the curve is major, then Pearson is not fine. So that is where you will have to go for rank order correlation. So there are various types of rank order correlations. And one of those particular type is Spearman's rank correlation, right? So what it does, so here in case of Spearman's correlation, data also, you don't really require to be a continuous data like Pearson data. So instead, what you really require is a rank order. So that means you should be able to rank the data from 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the ranks that you could actually give, and you should be able to order those particular ranks, right? So first rank is greater than second, or second rank is greater than third. So you should be able to order it based on the ranks. So that's when this particular Spearman correlation will come into picture. So when I say that data needs to be ranked, it doesn't mean that by nature the data really required to be ranked, right? So what does it mean is, uh, so so let's say if you are comparing marks of statistics with marks of some other subject, maybe you know uh, psychology, one more subject in psychology, let's say, right? So here, if you put marks and try to actually marks doesn't really is not a rank, right? You can actually put marks as a continuous data. You can say marks is in a marks can form the normal distribution. But why Spearman need to be used there? Because you might have a lesser sample data, so you are not too sure about the normal distribution. Okay, so the sample size is less. So the assumptions on Pearson, whatever that Pearson, you're not really sure, then you can use Spearman's. But the way that you would do is instead of putting marks, what you will do is you will start ranking. So statistics marks, you will actually order it in the rank. Okay, similarly, whatever the other subjects marks, you will actually rank it in an order, right? So once ranks, then you will go and apply Spearman's correlation. Data in order, but you should be able to rank the data. That is the main condition as far as Spearman correlation is concerned. Okay. So any doubts till now?
Still, the rank part is not clear. Can you give with an example?
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say you are comparing the undergraduate exams with the performance of undergraduate exam with the entrance test. Let's say you are comparing these two. Okay. So now there are two ways to compare. Okay. You can actually get the score of undergraduate exam, which is marks, and you can get the marks of entrance test and then compare marks of undergraduate exam with the entrance test. Marks of undergraduate exam and marks of entrance test exam, both are continuous data. They are marks. Okay.
We lost your audio.
And if you are sure that these marks correlation, let's say if you are not sure about, yeah, hello, yes, you're asking something.
Audio was lost.
Hear you, Praveen. We lost your audio for a while.
Okay, let me repeat that. So what I'm saying is, you're trying to compare marks of undergraduate exam with marks of entrance test. Basically, you are trying to correlate the performance of a student in undergraduate graduate exam with the entrance test. Let's say you're comparing, right? So if you take marks of undergraduate exam and marks of entrance test and then compare, you are still comparing the performance of the student, and here the data that you took is marks, which is a continuous data, which is not a rank. Okay, then Pearson's correlation needs to be used. But if you order it using rank, then Spearman correlation will come into picture.
Can you repeat the last sentence which you just said?
Okay, why you want to order it in rank when you have continuous?
Your voice is breaking, Praveen. Still breaking. I mean, like, we can't hear you at all. I got it.
He will reconnect.
Yeah.
What is the question we are addressing now?
No, he said something in the last. Something. I don't know what he said. The last line, I missed it.
That was an answer to the question from Babu Rao, right? Sir, what was your question, Babu Rao?
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
The question was the rank. See, the earlier continuous variables we know and discrete variable part we know. How the rank terminology is coming into picture, that part was not clear. So I was asking that. So actually the differentiation, right, he's trying to bring, earlier we know that when the linear, close to linear, then we can go to the whatever other stuff we studied that is applicable. Now this particular correlation really, it is a case where it is a deviating from the linear, maybe not closer to the linear. And that time when rank data is in terms of rank, then it will be applicable. But now the question is, what is rank exactly means? That's the question I asked. So with data I was asking.
I got it. I think the rank is like what I understood is from, he'll come back and answer the question. what I understood is it's not a continuous distribution, like marks can be 46, 46.5, 47, etc., etc. It might have a continuity, but rank is like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like in steps. That's what I understood when I heard him talk. So let's give some time. He'll join back. Okay,
Yeah.
Hello.
yeah, better now, Praveen.
Okay. So I have 2 broadbands at my home, and none of them really works. So finally, I have to switch on my hotspot in mobile at my work.
That I don't know what to say.
Yeah. And I work in telecom domain, which so I'm an expert in networking domain. So not sure what to say.
Do you want us to laugh on this? Because you're the expert in the same domain.
Same domain, and I can't make it work for myself. So
That's okay. Let's continue.
Okay, Praveen, to recap, the question from Babura was the concept of ranking. What is it compared to the previous distribution? And I said, I might be wrong, please correct me. I said, in the previous one, Pearson, we were talking about a continuous distribution. And in this, it's like
Correct.
steps ranking, steps kind
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. You are comparing the rank of an undergraduate exam with the rank of an entrance test. You are not comparing marks of the undergraduate exam with marks of the entrance test. So if you are trying to you try to analyze based on the marks, it is a continuous continuous data. But if you are taking the rank of the candidate, then it is not continuous. It is rank, right? So that is where Spearman's correlation would come into picture.
So you mean to say if any question which talks
Okay,
about
so-
rank, then we will use this formula because rank is mentioned. Or do you think
And
that
one
we need
more-
to assume this is
one
the
more-
rank about?
No, one more thing that you will have to be concerned here is if you got the marks. Let's say in your problem statement you have the marks as the data, but you're not too sure because your sample size is less and you're not too sure that it can form the normal distribution or not. Okay, then what you need to do is you need to convert those marks into ranks and then use Spearman's. So if you have a lesser data and you are not sure about normal distribution, if you can convert that data into ranks, then you should do that and then use this particular Spearman
And how to
correlation.
do that? How to convert marks into ranks? There's a formula for it?
So it's as simple as that. No formula. So you put all the marks in an ascending order. Whoever gets the highest marks is rank 1, second highest is rank 2, etc. So the ranking is a same thing, whatever that we do. So, but
Okay.
the data that you have should be rankable. So you should not have a data which you can't really rank, right? So so you should convert into rank and then apply the formula of Spearman's in case you're not too sure about the assumption of normal distribution. But if you're too sure on the normal distribution, then Pearson's is more reliable and stronger correlation methodology. So hence you should go with the Pearson's. So this comes into picture only when Pearson's is not applicable for your data.
Okay. So now I can see that
Okay.
it's actually ranked, but in different rank, and then we to take out Spearman's rank correlation, we actually put this formula and subtracted from x, like 1
Yes.
minus 4 is 3, and then we took the square root of all of them, added it, and then we use these data in the formula. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
that's right.
yeah, got it.
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
Praveen, I have a question. You had said that if the sample size is small and you're not sure about normal distribution, then you have to convert your data, continuous data into ranks, and then
Yes.
you use it and then apply Pearson's R.
No, the rank method.
Yeah, you apply
This method.
Okay.
This method, Spearman's.
Okay,
If
got it.
once you convert into ranks, you need to apply the Spearman's correlation related.
Spearman's.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there is no rank, normal Pearson, if we can convert it into rank or there is a rank given, it's rank correlation. rank spheres. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay.
But Praveen, I don't know, it may be a silly question, but actually, what are we trying to do here in simple English? There are so many students, and by getting this, what are we achieving? What is this data all about?
We are only comparing. So we are only seeing, is there any correlation between a student's performance in undergraduate exam to his performance in entrance test? Is there any correlation? Whether they are related or not is what we are finding out.
Okay, so
Your
what?
entire problem statement still lies on the correlation is the main
Correct.
hypothesis that you are trying to deal with. So you are just saying that, okay, yes, I have undergraduate exams data, I
Mhm.
have entrance test data. Is there any relationship between, or
Okay.
the student's performance in entrance test is completely independent to the undergraduate? They might actually get a 90% in undergraduate exam and they might fail in an entrance test, right? So
Mhm.
are you saying there is no correlation at all? Is exactly what you
Right.
are trying to find out here.
So
You are
then,
just trying
whatever.
to actually all these.
Right. So the result is going to be like, I think, between -1 to 1 and 0. So based on that, we interpret the data. That's right? If it is less than
Correct.
0, then they are, yeah,
Exactly.
something like that, right? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Exactly.
Got
Exactly.
it. Got it.
Exactly.
Thank you
So
so
if
much.
it
Yeah.
is -1, then it is a reverse. Basically, the student who is performing high in undergraduate exam is not performing in entrance test. If it is 1, then what you are saying is the student who is performing in undergraduate exam, it's short that he is going to perform in entrance test, right?
Right.
But
Right. Right.
if
Got it.
the lesser it is, the correlation is lesser. I mean,
Yeah.
you're telling that they are unrelated. So the basics of correlation doesn't change in any of these algorithms. Whether we talk about phi
Mhm.
coefficient, whether we talk about biserial, whether we talk about tetrachronic, any correlation as a fundamental doesn't really change. It is only the nature of data which is enabling us to use various algorithms. Other than that, your interpretation of the result and your purpose of the hypothesis doesn't change. Okay, so still you have a direction that is coming into picture, which is minus and plus. Still you get a value using which you will determine that there is a strength that is associated with it. So all those things remain same irrespective of whichever correlation it is.
Right. Right. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, so
There's
a
something
slight
which is
way.
done
What is that?
in the sorry. There's something which is written in the book itself, like what Seema just asked. Why we are doing this? Just to understand the relationship. If RS, which is Spearman's correlation, is positive, that means the relationship is positive. If it's negative, then relationship is negative. If the value comes to 0, that means relationship is weak. And if
Relation
the
is not
value
at all
comes,
there. Basically, zero means
yeah,
it is not at all there.
yeah. And if it's like plus minus 1.00, that means the strength of the relationship increases. So there
Yeah.
is one paragraph which actually talks about why we are using this formula, just to understand what kind of relationship we are using, getting after doing all this analysis or
Yeah.
the formula.
Yeah. So here the table is pretty simple. You are going to just calculate the difference of and you are going to square it up to make sure that there is nothing which is negative, and you apply a formula using this particular d square, sum of this d square, and that's where Spearman's correlation really comes into picture. So this table is pretty straightforward as far as Spearman's is concerned,
Yeah.
except that this is the formula that you will have to probably remember in case if there is any problems that come into picture. But my hunch is, I think, except Pearson's, for rest all, it might be more of a theoretical questions rather than problems, but we are not too sure. We will have to analyze papers, and based on that, we'll have to
Yeah.
practice the relevant algorithms. Yeah.
We'll do that before our revision. What we need to focus
Yeah.
on more. Sorry,
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
was.
that's right.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Praveen once again. You already said this, but I didn't get it. You said 0 means no correlation is there
No
between
correlation.
the undergraduate exam and the
Voice
entrance
is
test.
breaking.
My voice is breaking.
Now it is fine. You
It's
can
fine.
go.
Okay. So, and the other one is if it's -1, that means what kind of
It is negative.
that
It is
means
negative.
if
What
they
it
did
means
in the
is
undergraduate exam, that means they will not
they are not going to perform in entrance test. High performance of undergraduate exam are going to fail in entrance test.
okay. Okay.
So
got
it is a negative.
Okay.
Or you can even put a reverse. The high performance of entrance test are going to fail in undergraduate exam. So the cause is not really coming out in negative and positive because in both sides it is negative. So basically,
But that
what we are
depends on your
saying
hypothesis,
is,
the null hypothesis, what it was. If you asked it in the way that you said that the entrance test performance
No.
is affected by undergraduate, or if it's an
no,
undergraduate
no, no, no,
performance affects how,
no, no.
depends on how you worded it, right?
Okay, so no. Here hypothesis works in a little different way when it comes to OR correlation problems, right? Irrespective of which correlation that we are talking about, hypothesis is coming into picture to understand, is there any relationship? So your hypothesis is there is no relationship. Yes, there is a relationship. That would be your hypothesis. The hypothesis is not about, you are not predicting the rank. So there is a separate algorithm which is called as a regression that is going to come into picture, using which you do the prediction of rank. So here you are not predicting the rank. Here you are not really telling that both are no, related by this equation. You are not proving any equation here. You are just trying to actually tell that is there any relationship or not. That is where correlation really comes into picture. When it comes to your hypothesis would more deal with, yes, there is no correlation. Yeah, no,
Okay.
there is a correlation. So that
That's
would be
where
your
I'm getting
null
confused because
hypothesis.
0 is
alternate
already,
hypothesis.
Praveen, but that's where I'm getting confused because 0 is already no relation. Then what is -1? -1 you're also saying is no relation.
No, there is relation. You are saying you pretty much know that he performing in undergraduate exam is going to fail in entrance test. You can, no, you are saying that there is a relationship.
Okay, got it.
Here you are able to predict, but in 0 you are saying that okay, is you give a score of 90 in undergraduate exam, he has got an excellent percentage in undergraduate exam, and you looking at it, can you actually say that he's going to perform well in entrance test or not perform well in entrance test? If you say I don't know, his undergraduate test is excellent, but I can't really say whether he is going to perform in entrance test or not. That I can't say is
Yeah.
what you are saying, that I don't know the relationship. I mean, you can't really predict. There is no relationship.
Got it. Okay. I understood now. And
Okay.
positive means if they did well in entrance, they're definitely in undergraduate examination, they'll definitely do well in entrance. That's the positive.
Correct. That's right. That's right. That's right. So both on positive side and negative side, there is a relationship. Yes, there is a direction of the relationship where in one you are saying that it is one performing well is going to perform weak in the other. In case of negative, in case of positive, you are saying that one performing well in the other, one is going to perform well in the other. So there is a direction, but there is a relationship in both ends. That is -1 or 1. But 0, there is no relationship at all. You are saying that I don't know. It doesn't matter what is the marks in undergraduate exam. His entrance test is completely independent. That is exactly what we are saying. Both are independent variables.
And this can be plotted, like you said, in a graph to get a monotonic sort of curve or straight line.
Yes. So basically, yeah. So the relationship can be plotted in this way, right? I mean, if you put that particular ranks or marks or whatever it is, the relationship would go in a monotonic way. Either it would go up or it would come down. Okay, it can be any direction, but it is going in only one direction, that is monotonic. Because minus, simple. I mean, from correlation point of view, if it goes into minus, then it is decreasing. Then your graph is going to come down. If it is plus, the graph is going to go up. It can't be like a sinusoidal wave where graph goes up and down, then correlation doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, then it's not monotonic. Monotonic means
then
one.
it is not monotonic. Correct. Only one direction. Either it is going up or it is going down.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
But it can be curved. It is not a linear. It is not a
Hmm.
straight line. It can be curved. In case of Pearson's, it has to be linear. Pearson assumes that your both are related in a linear fashion.
But this can be linear also. That's also in rank in this one rank.
This
Simmons rank order, it can be still.
yes, 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 yeah. Because monotonic relationship is basically what you are saying is it's a weak assumption where it can be linear, it may not be linear. It doesn't matter. Linear is definitely monotonic. So in this way, Spearman's you can use for linear relationship as well. So it is the assumption of monotonic needs to be true. That's all.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay. So one more small variation within Spearman's, where let's say you have tied ranks. The scenario is like you might have ranks which is same. Okay. So then how to deal with it? So in case of this particular formula, the ranks here are not tied. So there is no scope of tying as far as the rank is concerned. But in this particular case, tying of rank is also a possibility. So how it is really, calculated, and it is just a small variation of Spearman's, where the way that you would actually calculate rank is, so instead of giving the same rank, so let's say you have marks of 7, you have marks of 7 here, right? Here 7 are tied for position 3 and position 4. So here, see for example, here marks 5 is 1 rank, mark 6 is 2 rank, mark 7 is 3rd rank, but you have 2 7s here, let's say. So how you are going to actually calculate rank is, now you have 2 people contending for rank 3 and rank 4. So what you will take is, you will take the average of it and put it as 3.5, which is exactly middle. So you are not going to put 3, you are not going to put 4, you are going to rather label it as 3.5. So let me give one more complex case. Okay. The complex case here is, let's say you have, 4 such contentions. Let's say instead of 2 7s, let's say you have 4 7s. Okay. Then what would happen? The ranks can fall under 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Right? So what you would actually do is, you will still actually average it out and actually put that particular rank, in between whatever the number that it is supposed to be. Okay. So basically you are actually putting the in between number rather than putting this extreme or that extreme in case of the tied ranks. Okay. So that's the small variation, and then it goes into the similar calculation of covariance divided by standard
Okay.
X and standard Y.
Praveen,
Yeah.
can you repeat again? If 7 repeats 4 times, how that will be represented?
So how it is represented is, you have like contention of 3, 4, 5, 6 ranks, right? So you are going to actually have 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 4. That is your rank would be. Because 3rd rank, 4th rank, 5th rank, 6th rank, all these things needs to be combined into one rank, because 7 is having 4 times. Are you getting my point? So let's say you have.
Praveen, then when we
7 and 4
arrange
times.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So basically you have 4 places that are being occupied by the same member. So what it means is, if you give, so what is the rank that you should actually give? So you are going to, so four people who are having the same, that means 3rd rank, 4th rank, 5th rank, 6th rank, all these particular ranks are supposed to actually go to that particular 7, right? So now, what is the rank that you are going to give for 7? You are going to do 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 and divided by 4 because 4 it is 4 positions which it is actually occupying. So that is the rank for that particular 7. But the next number, whatever that you are going to get, you are going to get rank as 7 because 3, 4, 5, 6, all the 4 ranks are occupied by 7.
So Praveen, then the first we have to arrange them in the order of ranks.
Yes.
7 repeats
Yes.
4 times, like what you said, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6 addition divided by 4, which comes to 3.25,
Yes.
right? So
No,
that
3 point. No. Is it 3.25?
It comes to 4.5.
okay,
Yeah.
4, 6, yeah, sorry, 4.5. So 4.5 is the rank that is
Given for all the 7
all the 7.
places.
And
Yes.
the
Wherever
next
7
rank,
is,
so,
the rank that you are going to give.
so the rank list now would be 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and then goes to 7. Next rank would be 7. Right? Because 3,
That's
4,
right.
5,
That's
6
right.
are occupied by 7 itself. So that average comes to 4.5, and then next
That's right.
rank would be 7.
Correct.
That's right.
Okay.
When 7 is repeated, why we are calculating 3, 4, 5, 6? Because we already have 3 ranks.
Because now the 7.
Just let me ask the question again.
No.
We have ranks,
So if
suppose
you
say
give
1 to 6 already there. Let us
Yes.
say 1 to 6 already there. Now 7 is repeated 4 times. Correct. So now why now see already up to 6 ranks are there. Let us say it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 7 is 4 times. Then 8. Let us say. Now 7 up to 6 already ranks are present. Now 7 only after 6th rank. Now 7 is repeated 4 times.
Okay.
So now,
So,
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, please continue.
So basically, see in this way. Okay, keep the 4 aspect aside. Okay, let's take a very simple case of 2. Okay, so how we are going to rank here? If you see the same data, I have where how to share the board. Okay, so you have data which is saying as you have 5, you have 6, you have 7, you have 7, you have 9, you have 10. Let's say this is the data. Okay, so typically how rank should be: rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5, rank 6, in case if 7 is not repeated twice, right? Let's say in case of, let's say this is 8, this is how typically it would be. Correct? Okay, so now for non-repeating entities, you are going to keep the rank same. That means in case of 9, your rank is still 5. In case of 10, your rank is still 6. In case of rank 5, still it is 1. In case of 6, it is still 2. So now comes to the contention part in case of here. Okay. So here both are 7, right? You can't give 3 and 3 here or 4 and 4 here. Okay. Because what it will happen, if you give 3 and 3, 4 and 4, your correlation would be slightly lower. In case if it is 3, your correlation would be slightly higher in case of 3. So what you are going to do, you are going to take a pragmatic approach and say that, okay, yes, no, and say that I'm not going to give 3 and 4. Okay, rather I'm going to take this as 3.5 and 3.5. So I will not give 3 and 4. I would rather give 3.5 and 3.5 and keep all other ranks same. Okay. So now it comes here. Let's say more complicated case. You have 3 7s, right? Here also, let's say if you put ranks. So how you are going to put here? Right? So now you are going to remain take these all ranks same, change these ranks. Now what about this? So here you are going to do is 3 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 3. That is going to be 4. Okay. So what you are going to do? You are going to give rank as 4, 4, 4. Am I clear now?
Clear, but one doubt here. For example, here in this example, 5, 6 is the starting ranks. For example, before 5, 6, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. Let us say. In that case, now 1, 6.
This is not ranks. These are marks. These are marks. Let's say these are not ranks. Rather,
okay.
I should have reversed it in case of marks, but I mean, so anyway.
I have a question.
See, even if I take reverse, yeah.
See, this data is okay if it is few, but the number of marks increases or the number of parameters increases. How do we rank them? I mean, go on writing until we reach the end of the data.
Yes, you have to put it in ascending order and just rank it.
And every other repetition will get that average number as rank. That's all.
Yes, yes.
So tie the
so
value.
The upper part is just data, and you are ranking the data using the ranks.
So okay. So basically, the first level line 5, 6, 7, 7, and 9, 10 are the data, and 1, 2, 3 is the ranks we are giving. So here,
yes.
3, 4, 5 is the ranks here. Ideally supposed to be, but since they are same, the average of that one we have taken. Fine. But if I see the table what you showed right in PPT, we are showing the ranks. Only 7 is repeated 3 times. All previous numbers, new numbers.
No. There also, why the rank is tied there is because you have the same data. So this is you can still see that as marks. Okay. And this as rank. So this is not rank. This is data, and you are ranking that particular data accordingly in this particular thing. This is rank.
Okay, first row is actually the data. Next time, whatever you are representing, that is actually the rank.
Exactly. So that is why if you see 5, you have ranked it as 1. 6 is ranked it as 2.
Okay.
7 is ranked it as 3.5, 3.5.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay.
Praveen, we can carry calculator into the exam hall. Okay.
Unfortunately, in philosophy, I never had any mathematical exam, so no experience of. According to me, calculator should be allowed. Okay. Because all these calculations, in case of square root and all, would really become tricky. Square roots and all those whatnot. So, for example, here you need to calculate the square root. Yeah. So for a complex number, if you try to actually do square root manually, then that's it. You'll spend in this particular problem itself all the 3 hours. So it is very unlikely that you would not be allowed.
But it is okay for maths background. We use, I mean, at least once in our lifetime, we'll use a scientific calculator. But others, I don't know if they can really use a scientific calculator with square root.
No. Normally in these kind of exams, you can use a regular calculator and not a scientific calculator. So most of these exams you can carry, I mean, because it's very difficult to sit and start calculating all this. So a regular calculator is always allowed in most of these exams. That's my
regular calculator. I am pretty sure they will allow.
It is. Yeah.
I have doubt that.
Yeah.
I have doubt that even they might allow scientific calculator because, I mean, cosine function and sine function and all, in case if there are any formulas of the such nature. We have one correlation, if you remember, on the top, tetrachronic relationship has got cosine as the function. So you might either not get any problem to solve on those particular lines, or else they will allow the scientific calculator. Anything can happen.
Yeah, because
So,
square root also I don't think
okay.
we'll have in normal calculator.
No, we do,
Normal calculator does
because
have square root.
yeah,
Square root
it
is
has,
there.
it has, because the same thing we had a few of these. I won't say all of them, but this rank correlation we had in our B.Ed also, and they had allowed us to carry a regular calculator because square root is there, and all other basic calculations are there. But scientific was not allowed.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next one is Kendall's stove. So this is alternative to Spearman's. It is again a rank correlation. All the assumptions, whatever that you have in Spearman's, still holds true in Kendall. This is only an alternate way of calculating the rank correlation. Okay. So this is just another scientist came up with a different methodology to calculate correlation. No, with the similar data type. That's exactly what Kendall stove is. Okay, so here how you are going to do in case of Spearman's. So you have just you are trying to actually find out the difference between ranks, and based on that the formula is there. In case of Kendall stove, what you are going to do is you are going to calculate concordant and discordant. Okay, I'll explain what concordant and discordant is concerned. Okay, see the way that you arrange this data and calculate these is the most important part of Kendall's. So what you are actually doing here, let's say you have two scores, two ranks, rank given by interview 1, rank given by interviewer 2. Okay, and you are trying to analyze, is there any correlation between the rank given by interviewer 1 and interviewer 2? You are just still correlating it, all the other things remain same. So how you are going to do is, you are going to arrange data in such a way that one of the interviewer, for interviewer 1, all the ranks are in a sequential ascending order. Okay, and interchange only interviewer 2 accordingly. So for example, what you are saying is, when interviewer 1 gave first rank, interviewer 2 also gave first rank. When interviewer 1 gave second rank, interviewer 2 gave second rank. When interviewer 1 gave third rank, the interviewer 2 gave fourth rank, not the third rank. When he gave fourth rank, this guy gave third rank. So you are arranging this in an ascending order, and you are putting the second data in accordance to that particular ascending order. So this is always in ascending order. This really follows the X, whatever that is there here. Okay. So is there any doubt in the arrangement here? And then I will talk about concordant and discordant.
Do you have an example to show, Praveen?
So are you not able to see my screen?
No.
No.
We're seeing your face.
We can only see
Not
you.
showing anything.
Oh, I was thinking that I'm showing the. Okay, so can you see this? I was actually, in fact, writing. I was thinking that you guys are seeing my writing here.
After seeing your pen only, I understood you're writing something we are not able to see.
Okay, so see this particular thing example. So here you have two data, interviewer 1 and interviewer 2. Okay, interviewer 1 is all arranged in ascending order. So what you are actually saying here is, when interviewer 1 gave first rank, the second interviewer gave second rank. When he gave second rank, the second one gave second rank. But when he gave third rank, the second interviewer gave fourth rank. So you are trying to arrange the data in ascending order for interviewer 1, and you are just putting interviewer 2 based on that particular data, whatever that is available. So one is definitely in ascending order, the other one is following the samples. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear here? Because this is a tricky thing to understand. Okay.
No, Praveen, I didn't understand this.
Okay,
I didn't
so
understand.
let's
So what have we done? Have you have we put the ascending order for interviewer 1, you said? So what is, I mean, interview tour is not in ascending
Okay,
order.
let
No,
me
I didn't
just
get it.
let me just actually try to explain it again. Okay, so can you see a whiteboard?
Yes.
Can you see my whiteboard?
Yeah.
So let's say you got a data. You got data saying that, okay, yes, sample one, you are trying to actually analyze how exactly two interviewers are giving the rank, whether there is any correlation between the rank given by two interviewers. You are trying to actually analyze that. Okay, so you got samples saying that, okay, yes, when interviewer one gave first rank, interviewer gave first rank. But when interviewer gave second rank, the second interviewer also gave second rank. Then interviewer gave third rank, the second interviewer gave fourth rank. Okay, there is my whiteboard. Okay, but when the first interviewer gave fourth rank, the second interviewer gave third rank. Okay, when he gave fifth rank, this guy gave seventh rank, let's say. Okay, and now this guy gave sixth rank, and when he gave sixth rank, this guy gave fifth rank, let's say.
Praveen,
Okay, yes.
I can see just a plain whiteboard here. Are you showing some figures there?
Yeah, just just squeeze the whatever. Just position the thing properly. I also had to go up, scroll up a little bit to see it.
Yeah, Praveen, if you could use a different color other than yellow.
That is what I was trying to do. Okay. So can everybody see my screen? I'm writing now.
Yes.
Okay. So these are two ranks given by interviewers. So when first guy gave 1, the second guy gave 1. When first guy gave 2, second guy also gave 2. When the third guy, when the first guy gave 3, the second guy gave 4. When the first guy gave 4, the second guy gave 3. When first guy gave 5, the second guy gave 7. Okay, when the first guy gave 6, the second guy gave 5. Let's say he gave 7, and this guy gave
6.
6.
I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how I arrange this data? Here I went in an ascending order when I am trying to discuss ranks given by interviewer 1. I told he gave 1, and then when the first guy gave 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7. But in case of interviewer 2, I am just telling that for a candidate, he gave 1, he gave 2. For the same candidate, this guy gave 4. For the same candidate, this guy gave 3. So the second data is not in ascending order. This really followed the order given by the interviewer 1.
Correct.
Okay. So this is let's say this is for person 1. This is for person 2. This is for person 3. This is for person 4. This is for person 5, person 6, and person 7. Right. So here all these persons are rated by interviewer 1, interviewer 2. So my second reading really followed the ascending order of the first reading, but there is no ascending order for the second reading, because what I am ensuring is I am only ordering the interviewer 1's rank, but I am not ordering the interviewer's second rank, because I'm just trying to actually follow the one person order here. Okay.
Right. Got this point.
Am I clear now?
Yeah, I got this point. Can we go back to the previous screen where you
Yes.
had the data and everything?
Yes. Can you see this particular screen now?
Not yet.
Let me.
No, the screen where the problem was.
Yeah, I'm just. I think I can only share either whiteboard or this, I guess. Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is how these three columns are arranged. Okay, so now what is concordant? Concordant, see interviewer 2's rank now. Concordant says that when I take this particular rank, how many ranks are more than this? Okay, so for a guy with having 1 as the rank, all the ranks which are down, that means total 11 candidates. Total 11 candidates does have higher rank than this. So let's say what I am saying is I am just calculating ranks which are more than 1. 2 is more than 1, 4 is more than 1, 3 is more than 1, 6 is more than 1, 5 is more than 1, 8 is more than 1, 7, 10, 9, 12, 11. So total 11 rows which are below this, all are more than this. I'm just telling 11 because it is count of number of rows which are more than my rank, which I am actually trying to put. Okay. So now when it comes to 2, how many rows below are more than 2? There are 10 rows which are more than 2 below. When it comes to 4, how many rows below are more than 4? So now this is where the trick is. So the immediate row which is 3, is this more? It is less. So you are not going to count this. You are going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's only 8 are more than this particular number.
Praveen,
Okay.
your audio
So-
was
so
choppy.
what
Can you repeat
you are
back?
counting number of rows. Okay. So what you are doing in Concord, you are just counting number of rows below that row, which is more than the number that you have here. You see, observe 4 here. In case of rank 4, okay, the immediate row here is not less than 4. So you are not going to count this row. You are going to count only rows which are more than 4. You are going to count 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are total 8 rows which are more than 4. So that is why in case of 4, you are going to put 8. Okay. So what about 3? How many rows below 3 are more than 3? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again 8. So you are going to put 8 here. So now comes to 6. How many rows below are more than 6? Okay. Is 5 counted here? No, because it is not more than 6. So you are going to count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total 6 rows which are more than 6. So similarly for 5, you are going to count number of rows which are more than 5. So here, whenever you are counting the rows, below rows which are more than the current one is concordant.
So Praveen, basically what we are doing is concordant is in accordance with the column that has not been arranged in ascending order.
Perfect. That's right. So now discordant is exact opposite to it. Okay, you are going to count number of ranks which are below that in down. So in case of 4, number of ranks which are below is 1 because 3 is the only one which is less than 4. So 6, 5 is the only rank which is below, which is staying below, but it is less. So it is 1. So for 8, it is only 1, which is 7, which is below. For 10, it is only 1 because only 9 is below. So that is why all these ranks, there is 1, 1, 1 here. But in case if there are more ranks which are less than that, the count of discordant will increase. Okay. So discordant is exactly opposite. Concordant is telling that how many below are in concordance with the rank order. So basically you are saying it is following the rank order. You are counting how many are following the rank order. In discordant, you are just telling that how many are not following the rank order. That is what it is all about. So what you are doing in summary, you are trying to arrange interviewer 1 in the order And interviewer 2, you are actually automatically jumbled because interviewer 2 has got a little different ratings. And then you are just analyzing interviewer 2 or how many are in concordance, how many are in discordance. And then you are finding Kendall's 2 using these two, concordance and discordance. So this is C, this is D in this formula. So 61 minus 5 divided by, so what you are doing is 61 minus 5 divided by 61 plus 5. That is exactly what you are going to do. Or else you can apply this formula as well. Here what you are saying is 61 minus 5 divided by number of samples here, 12 into 11 divided by 2. So both would actually give the same value. So somehow I find this particular formula easy. Our textbook mentioned about this formula, but I like this formula as such. So it is pretty straightforward formula to remember.
Are you sure that they will give the same number, Praveen?
Yes.
Okay.
Both are Kendall's term. So I'm assuming that we don't have two different formulas for Kendall's term. So I'm pretty sure that it actually gives the same formula. So we can probably calculate as well. So let's actually experiment. Oops.
I don't think they will give same 61. That is 54 by.
Let us try. No, let's try.
Yeah.
For the same experiment, same data, we can.
What is NC and ND? That is.
NC and ND is same. It's the sum of whatever.
The top one is 0.84.
So 56
by 66
divided by
0.8.
66 is 0.84, right? The second one is also 66 down, so it should be same. 0.8484. Yeah, it is same. It is same.
Okay.
Praveen, just one quick question here. This candidate K, right? Interviewer 1, if I take 11, and if I'm calculating the discordant, shouldn't it be 0? Because is it equal to or less than
Which one? You are talking about this?
Okay, yes. Candidate
So
K.
here you have one row which is less than this, right? So that is why it is discordant is 1. You have
11.
none of the rows which is more, hence it is 0.
Right, no, but discordant is it 11 and then the same row is 12, which is higher, so that won't count. The next row is 11, right? So it's 11 and 11 equal.
No.
Shouldn't it be 0 then?
Yes.
Discordant should be 0, right?
No. You are covering all the rows which are below 12. You need to actually count the number of rows which are below 12. So this is one row, one value, one row which is less than 12. Hence the count is 1. You are not going to take it one less and then count. You are going to actually cover all the rows. So here also, if you are taking 4, you are covering 3 as one row. Hence the count is 1. Here 12, you are covering 11 as well. Hence the count is 1. So what you are saying is, I have one row below my rank, which is less than my rank.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, thanks.
Praveen, that 66.
Is it a print mistake or what in this?
What is print
-1? How it has come?
Which one?
In this PPT, how come the 5 - 1 has come and bottom 4 n equal to 4? How it has come?
No.
That's a different table.
This is a different formula. Don't worry about this. This formula I just cut and paste from our material. So hence this came from a different example, and this is a different example. Okay, so our material really has got some errors as far as some of the examples are concerned. So they skipped, I don't know, they skipped giving explanation on certain aspects and directly gave answers for most of the examples, numerical examples that I could give. I could see somehow I didn't like the material because they just directly reached to the conclusion. They didn't really explain what the numerical formula is, right? So, for example, how this 5 and 1 is calculated and all, it is not really explained in a right way. It just like very arbitrary examples that they get. So that is the reason why I took example from elsewhere so that I can easily explain it. But just wanted to tell that this is the equation that is given in our textbook, and I know how exactly this equation is derived to this. Both are same anyway, because what is happening is when you are actually adding it, you are doing sum of all the numbers. So that is where this particular sum is coming into picture. So that is
which two equations are the same? What do you mean they're the same, Praveen?
So Kendall-Stokes, either you can calculate using C minus D divided by C plus D, or else you can calculate by C minus D divided by N into N minus 1 by 2.
Okay, what is N here? I know what NC and
N is number of samples. N is number of samples.
Then
so
NC
here
and
it is 12. NC and ND is C. This is 61 and 5.
Oh, okay, it's not sample size of the.
No. This is C.
61 minus.
This is D.
61
minus 5.
Okay. And N is 12. Huh?
Yeah.
N is 12.
12.
Correct. But somehow I like this formula. It is easy to remember.
And if we use that in the exam, it's okay, even though it's not in our text. The one that
it doesn't matter. Yes, you should
divided by C plus D.
Yes.
If
both are same. If you divide, if you just derive mathematically and expand mathematically, you will end up having this formula. So both are mathematically same.
Yeah,
both are same.
But you know how they are in these exams. Sometimes if they don't see the formula they want to see, they might cut marks or something. Who knows? But
don't worry. In case if they give a numerical example, they would pretty much see your result. So result would be same in both the cases. So I think it should be okay.
Then it's fine. Because it's easier to remember this first one also.
Yeah, that is what I felt. Okay.
This calculation.
I thought I will cover. Sorry. Yeah.
The calculation of C and D is properly explained in our notebook, or it's not there. We need to remember notes where to make it now.
I did not see it explained at all. I mean, it is explained, but somehow the explanation is not very intuitive.
Okay. We need to note it down properly.
So not sure. Yeah, I mean, concordant and discordant and arranging in the interview one rank and all is a bit tricky if you just read and try to understand. So probably now if you read, maybe you might be able to understand in case if I made some sense. Otherwise, just by notes, it would be a little tricky to understand.
Yeah. Please share this PPT so just we can make it the notes from this PPT.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, thanks.
So Praveen, now how many days do you think we'll do to, like, what's the plan now? Anything in your mind?
So basically from block 2 point of view, right? We completed unit 2 as of now. Okay, so this is definitely a logical point to take a pause from statistics point of view. Okay, what I thought is I will cover unit 3 as well today, but I ended up covering just unit 2. I mean, we didn't even go into unit 3. So all partial correlation, linear regression and all those stuff will come in unit 3. But I think we should probably take a pause from statistics subject and go to the other subjects in the holiday season. So
where is our Madam G now? She has to come and pitch in. Ritika ma'am?
Yeah.
She went off to sleep, I think.
I think I successfully made somebody to sleep without a sleep.
No, actually, honestly, Bolu, yesterday even I slept off last 10 minutes. I don't know. I was so tired. Or maybe it's your voice, which is so musical. It just put me off to sleep. Last 10 minutes, I completely missed. So anyway, luckily I caught up today. But so tomorrow, what do we do? Where's Ritika? She's really missing.
Everyone do out.
I think
Because
tomorrow,
if
I
we
would
have nothing to,
probably-
yeah, if we have nothing else to take up, then you might as well take stats only tomorrow as well, Unit 3. So anyway,
No,
Ritika is the best
I
person
can
to
take,
decide.
but I think that would be an extended sleep session. We should not really sleep continuously.
No, I think, yeah, it's getting a little heavy duty because I've not been, I don't think we have enough time to also study parallelly. So I think it's time to just go and revise and understand where we are till now. Lighter subject would be good, but then if we have to be prepared for that, one of us has to take up that thing. And what? I mean,
I
if we
believe
are
Ritika was
changing, then
actually
which
preparing
subject?
for one of the subjects. She was
Who
preparing
is
for one of the
preparing?
subject.
Who's that?
Ritika, I think Ritika
Ritika, is
itself,
it?
Ritika, I mean, yeah.
Mm. Yeah. She was talking about personality, if
She
I'm
was
not wrong.
actually correct. Personality is the one she was talking about. Maybe
Yeah.
she can take that particular part again.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, what we thought earlier was we will take alternative. So one stats and one non-stats kind of a thing.
Yeah. I think,
Okay.
we should do that. We can keep coming back to stats because I think it's good.
Yeah,
Thank-
whenever people are sleep deprived, I think we should put a
But where's everybody? Not a single person is talking. Anyway.
No, I think this will be like never-ending subject stats. At least, as she said, no, Seema, I think we have to go back and revise. So
I
that
think
gives us
so.
little time to, understand and come back with some doubts. And by the time we come back with doubts, I think Praveen will be completed with block 3, 4, 5 also.
If it exists, yeah.
By the time we'll still be searching doubts for block 1, unit 2.
The worst part about study material I find is, you're trying to understand something and then there is a printing mistake also on top of that. That can make it really worse.
Yeah,
So-
now after Praveen said there is a mistake in the formula itself, and
yeah, in some
we
numerical
will be searching half an hour, 1 hour for where is 5. I will never know where is 5.
No. I'll just text Praveen.
Now that he said 5 is a mistake,
Yeah, that's-
he cancelled it. I will never forget in my life where is Kendall Stove wrong data.
I think Ritika has gone off to sleep. So whenever she wakes up, we check with her.
I'm very much awake.
I was,
Wait, guys,
yeah, I was just
we
thinking,
thought you were
Praveen, if you
already
have,
into sleep.
I just
Praveen,
got a
if you
call,
have,
so I am on a call. Maybe I know you guys wants to change the topic. Maybe I can take personality tomorrow.
Yeah, do that. Tell us which one you're taking.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So we finished that cattle theory
Yeah.
and first one. What was that? I forgot. Arey, kya naam tha yaar?
If you forgot, how do we remember?
One
We didn't even open the books, so don't ask us.
Exactly.
So
Time
only
is-
already
Arey, Elport,
Go.
yaar, how can we forget Elport? I have to
Huh.
go.
I'm asking how much is the minimum marks to pass and do
this is a wrong.
because so much of
Don't
problems are not
demotivate
possible.
Praveen. No.
Yeah, Praveen is stressing out now.
Praveen will get 50 out of 15 stats and he'll pass with flying colors. We are the ones who have to catch up.
Hey, that's
No.
okay. At least one of us will pass with the flying colors, full 100
No,
out
no.
of 100.
How much is the theory and how much is the numerical? So we can decide if we can pass this year or not.
At least from assignments, from assignments, I could just predict that it is more of a theory rather than numerical problems, at least from
Okay, that's
assignments.
good news.
Okay, great.
But
So
last
I'm
time
assuming that
when
it is not going to be tough.
Talk to Ritu for a while.
but couple of
Okay.
problems are there in last 2 years question paper I saw when Vikram's class
Yeah,
was there. He took some hypothesis, this formula, right? So couple of questions were there numeric, but as he said, if we solve that one with one formula, you will get 10 marks. Not big thing that you'll have to write lengthy answers.
Correct. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I think Pearson's R is one candidate.
Concepts.
Pearson's R and hypothesis are two candidates for numerical problems.